Sorry Cap, welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand, welcome back to True Blue Thai. It's me, hope you're doing well. It's one, what day is it today? What's it today? Wednesday? No, yeah, one put. Yeah, Wednesday, I'm sure it's Wednesday. Anyway, so it's friend said, yeah, so time flies, absolutely, I just don't know. It's, the days go so quickly, it's unbelievable. It's, it's about 11 o'clock now, for instance, in Thailand. I'm starting to go, what have I done? And so for instance, but it's another day in Thailand for me. I've just been for a walk round. I just got a nice pomegranate, from a tree just around the corner from where pomegranate's so helpful for you, and you can get them off trees. You can go to a tree, eat a tree. I got some bananas, pomegranates, and I love fruit. If you love fruit, Thailand's a place to come. You're just hanging off. And a lot of times the Thais don't even bother, it's amazing. These pomegranate trees got loads of pomegranates, and nobody's eating them. And I'm sitting there going, this fruit is so good for you. Anyway, and I've got these new cactus now. And you open them up, etc., and you can buy the genuine aloe vera. So, for instance, you just put it on your face, etc., and it keeps you looking young. I need a lot of it. Guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to Charlie. Welcome back to True Blue Thai. It's it's another day in our lives as a Man City fan, and not much going on really. A lot of ins and outs really going off the out train and the usual loaning of our youngsters is and find out what we can do, how we can trim that squad, etc. Even though I don't like saying this, but has been going on. For instance, and we've still got to give a player to loan a player to Lyon as part of the Turkey deal, and for instance now they're back in Europe. Also, for instance, I think the owner, for instance, screwed Crystal Palace because they cheated in the FA Cup final and managed to get, for instance, back in Europe as well. So, for instance, he's played a blinder. Good one, lad. So, for instance, all the Palace fans, well, at least we'll win the conference. Yeah, right. Anyway, so but you cheated in the FA Cup final. That goalkeeper should have been sent off again, and nobody's talking about it. But the reason why is because it's a London club, and they're not bothered about it. They're not talking about it, even though, for instance, we've still got no clarification on the rules about handball of a goalkeeper on the outside of the box. It's all. Also, but nobody's talking about it because it's a London club, London based, and everybody wanted Palace to beat Man City. Oh, there you go. So, but anyway, so never mind. So a few things happened yesterday. Was the Premier League. It appears that, for instance, they were kind of like getting a guy, some impressionist, etc., to do a mockery of Manchester City's thing on 115. And before the whole thing's done, and Man City's turning on, what you want us to do? And it appears that, for instance, that's what's been asked Man City to do. So, about to mock ourselves, to do a stand up. Now, I've seen this guy doing a few things regarding the 115, etc., and a mockery, and I thought it was quite funny. Typical City. Johnny was talking about it yesterday, and we have zero problem about laughing at ourselves, Man City. But I just think, for instance, let's just wait here, mate. There's a time and a place, and this is not the time or the place to do this. And so Man City have turned it down and said, listen, I'm up. It's a bit distasteful, and so we've decided to turn it down, and which is quite right, because again, for instance, we're not talking a two-penny court case here. For instance, we're talking about a court case that's going to cost a lot of money. It's costing a lot of money and could end up people losing their jobs over here. Hopefully it's going to be the Premier League. So, but after watching Master Dick or Dick Masters, for instance, on Bloomsburg TV, and his interview, and he didn't look confident at all. Anyway, but it looks like also we heard about the 115 nonsense. It could be postponed now till October. Do la come, as they say in Thailand. So yeah, very, very strange. Anyway, so that's been delayed. So I always get the feeling now, the media, when people talk about it now, they're all enthusiastic. They're all, can't wait. Now they just can't be bothered. anymore. They really can't. It's just like, when's it gonna, and it's like this. You can just feel the puff has gone out of them now. The haters. They're just so like, oh, it's not gonna happen, is it? So yeah. So they're kind of resigned to it. And going about PSR and 115 and stupid rules by the Premier League. Yeah, Newcastle having a tough time of it, because again of that. Man City also were defending Newcastle and with our attacks on PSR, for instance, and for instance, Newcastle at the time actually voted for PSR, which is basically screwed you. So, for instance, at the time, I know people are, I just don't understand why Newcastle voted for PSR against Manchester City, which basically, mate, is now screwed you and Villa and all the rest of them by the Red Cartel. Now, the Red Cartel can steal your players and you can't do nothing about it, for instance, and now you're having a bad transfer window. And this talk about Livramento now is starting to turning a speed, but again, I'm not buying a way that's a bit more concrete. Because it appears that, for instance, what the South Stand was saying yesterday, that they heard that, for instance, the Livramento now wants, because knowing that Isak's going, now he's turned around and said, well, he wants a chat with Eddie Howe. Well, how true is this? Don't know. Clickbait, more than likely. Like most things, especially with the transfers, unless it's actually done and dusted and you heard from the club. A lot of it, and again, some people take it really, really seriously. I'm going to give you the information, but as far as I'm concerned, a lot of it is all no. Edison's leaving, now he's staying. Okay, unless Man City appears that he's staying, unless Man City get an absolutely massive offer. Now we're hearing. So if Man City get a massive offer, then he's going. But if we lose Ortega, which is now linked with the Rags, for instance, well, that ain't going to be good, because then we need another goalkeeper. So it's all right saying if we get a big offer, then for instance he's going, he's staying, he's going. So now what are we doing? So for instance, he's staying for the best. He's staying as Man City's backup goalkeeper or competing out with James. But if we get a massive offer for him, he's going. So, but what about Ortega? So, but because he's been, again, the Rags have been sniffing around him, and I don't want to sell him to the Rags. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve to go to the Rags. Nobody deserves to go to the Rags. But there you go. So they're after who are the Sasco? They are fishing in the wrong pool, definitely in the lower pool now in the transfer market. The Rags, and still paying ridiculous money, the ridiculous contracts. So, but they just never learn. They will never learn, the Rags. They really won't. Anyway, so let's have a look. Also, a few things. David Moyes was kind of like, they're in the States at the moment, and he was asked about Jack Grealish and transfers, and he was a bit sceptical now on transfers coming through, and he says it'll probably be later on in the season. In the summer, before they get anything sorted out. So that's been cool now, but I do expect Jack, if he's going to go, will be later on. I think a lot of these things will probably be like the Rags, etc. About that famous five they've got, the failure five. For instance, that a lot of that lot will go out. Like City's will go for instance, like Jack, etc. For instance, will go. I think this way I think it's going to work. I think we're getting rid of the EDS players now. For instance, they're the quick, easy ones going out on loan, which we normally sell, which is fine. And then we're going to get the next bunch would be the Claudio, the Victor Reiss and Stefan Nypan. They're going the next bunch, and then we're going to get the third bunch would be the circle with, like the Jack Grealishes, etc. For instance, will probably go out toward the end of the transfer window if they get any offers, etc. for them. But we'll see what happens, because again, teams are going to be desperate, and if you can get someone like Jack Grealish, but I expect Jack Grealish to go out on loan if he's got to go out on loan. But Man City will have to pay the salary. So, but Anyway, so let's put a bit more context on what I'm saying to you, because I don't want you to be a bit confused. Okay, so let's start at the top. So we're looking at Claudio Becciaveri, who was linked with, according to the Italian journalist, it was all done and dusted that he's on his way to, for instance, he's on his way to for instance, AS Roma. But now, according to a British journalist, they're saying, well, he's not. For instance, he's not. And but he's going to Girona. So now, and we might be getting Stefan Nypan to Girona, as well as Victor Reiss to Girona. There's also reports that Victor Reiss is not happy. He wants to leave Man City, but I'm giving that one a bit of a wide berth. But so for instance, it's looks like it could be all three of them maybe going all to Roma, but or one diverts and goes to Lyon, and because I deal with Lyon because of the what do you call it? For instance, Turkey deal. So let's see how we go there. As far as youngsters are concerned, so Joe Nidal, for instance, we were talking about is signed on loan for Hull City. Watford won Mac Aleni on loan. Jason Simpson Pussy looks like I think we had a here we go from Fabrizio, so he looks like he's on his way to Celtic for the season. Right, as far as Jason McAtee, for instance, looks like the Man City are looking for a buyback. We're not going to get done by like what we did by about the Cole Palmer thing, when we thought 42 million, that's a good deal, but not include a buyback or a sell on. And now it appears that, for instance, now if we're going to get rid of our youngsters, we want buybacks and sell ons. So clauses, which might bring the cost of the transfer down, but if we can do that, where Notts Forest doesn't want to do that at the moment with Jason McAtee, and their first offer was only about 25 mil, so which is not good enough. So it looks like City. Hello, another bird. New one. Never heard that before. But looks like McAtee could be going to. For instance, well, that was he's put me off. Jason McAtee's kind of looks like unless I think Forest needs to step up their offer, and for Jason McAtee, for instance, to go there or accept a buyback clause from Man City and a selling clause, depending what we go. So, but we'll see what that. I might personally, I can understand why he didn't go to Germany. I think it's crazy not to go to Germany. It'd be better for his development, but he wants to stay in the UK. So we'll see how it goes. But we'll just have to keep an eye on that one. Yeah, Stefan Ortega. I don't want him to go to bloody United in any way whatsoever. He doesn't deserve it. Great goalkeeper, decent guy. For instance, the last thing I want him to go to there. But we'll see what happens with that one. As far as other news are concerned, let's just pop across to the ladies. So it appears that, for instance, let me just have a quick look. So it appears that, for instance, Keroli, for instance, who's in Brazil at the moment, actually with the Copa America, they beat Uruguay yesterday to win into the final of the Copa America, to which Keroli played a part. She came on as a substitute. So congratulations to Brazil in the final. And good, and I hope Keroli is doing well out there. There was a talk of the League Cup, which the ladies are in, which we got to the final. It was our first game against Chelsea. I thought we were unlucky not to win that one. That was the first of many games against Chelsea in a row. Last season we reached the final, losing out to Chelsea at Pride Park, and have made at least the semi-finals in each of the last three campaigns. I think City will focus on the Cups big time because we're not in the Champions League this season. City entered the competition in the group stage with the draw taking place on Thursday the 31st of July at 8:30 in the morning in the UK time, with former Blue Tony Duggan helping to conduct the draw. It'll be broadcast live on BBC Radio 5 Live with the reaction with the reaction later on. So City are in the draw. Let me just find out what number we are. I think we're number 4 or 5. Let me just double check that one. The League Cup draw. So I think because again I think we'll be focusing a lot on the League Cup this and the FA Cup this season. Let me just have a look. Man City number 4. So the Scouts is number 1, Durham number 2, Forest number 3, City number 4, Sunderland number 5, Everton number 6, Newcastle number 7, Sheffield Wednesday number 8, etc, etc, etc. So the group stage, 24th to 25th September, and then 18th and 19th October, knockout stages, quarterfinal, semi-final. The final will be on the 15th and the 16th of March 2026. So of that. Let's see any other news which I can bring you. Probably doing well. Are you liking the contact? Are you? Again, a lot of people take the what's happening very seriously. I'm a little bit more kind of yeah, and it's only because I'm things change so quickly. I again, and a lot of journalists come out and say one thing, and Stefan Gonzalez is on it. Nypan Gonzalez is leaving, and suddenly he's on his way, blah blah blah, and then suddenly he's staying. So for instance, it's just like that, and you kind of got to really take it to, not too seriously too much about what you hear, and just because a reliable journalist doesn't mean he's actually saying the same thing. I think, for instance, I think a lot of people got amnesia as well, because they kind of believe in certain things what journalists say, but not knowing that fact that journalists might have said something in the past. For instance, who has been talking absolute backside, but you give him the credit of the light of day. This is going to go. He's going to go. Blah blah blah. But it's all rumours and hearsay and all this kind of thing. 1 minute Claudio is going to Roma, going to the Italians, they're going to Roma, and now he's not going to Roma. İlkay Gundogan's on his way to Turkey. It's all done and dusted, as well as Edison. That's all done and dusted. Going to the thing, Edison staying at Man City. Go figure. So whether you want to sit there and believe all that garbage, then so I'm a very kind of, I'll happy to talk about it, happy to mention it, but I'm also very kind of skeptical about it, because again, for instance, I'll have it on my thumbnail where, for instance, how much possibility and percentage wise will be, but whether it's what will be. So for instance, and how much I feel I can convince myself and say, well, yeah, it's going to be, but a lot of times it's not. So, but never mind. Anyway, so with that, I will bid you a good day. I saw the guys again back in training. Saw Nico Gonzalez. They're doing the thing with the bin now, for instance, where I think it's all about balance, and where they play with the ball and put it into the bin and put it in a basketball net and down. And I think it's all about control of the ball thing. So looks like the pre-season training is definitely heating up. And for instance, and we're heading towards to Italy soon. Still no more announcement on the second game. I do believe we'll play a second game if we can get one sorted, or maybe have a double header against us lot. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, but other than that, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. True Blue Tie from Thailand. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. For instance, where do you feel the places are head up? Do you think we should sell Ortega to the Rags? Oh my God, can't do that. Yeah, I can't do that to the poor guy. For instance, he's a good goalkeeper, in Reiss. What's it called? But then again, if he's getting rid of Ortega, and if some big offer goes from Saudi to Edison, and then we lose Edison, then we're down to James Trafford and the third choice. So. Oh dear me. Never a boring day being a Man City fan. Anyway, guys, gonna love you and leave you. True Blue Tie from Thailand. Have a great day, and so for instance, another hot day in Thailand. Take care. Have a good day.